Greetings!
Greetings!
That's Lee.
And that's Robert.
And we're at Anderton. Robert. I've been naughty and I have to review for my sins.
Robert Michael Chapman.
Michael Chapman.
What's your middle name?
Sutherland.
Really?
Yes. My middle name is Sutherland. I'm Robert Sutherland Chapman.
Robert Sutherland Chapman. Go and stand in the corner. On the naughty step.
Anyway, while I've been very bad and need punishment, we should demonstrate this incredible Mesa Boogie amplifier, which is a transatlantic.
It's new and blue.
30.
This is the head version. Oh, look what that.
It pops down and
nice.
It pops up.
Ooh.
So it's got two functions.
Like toast.
Yes.
So this is the Transatlantic 30. You guys remember that Boogie got onto that whole kind of little lunchbox style tube amplifier a year or so ago with the Transatlantic 15. And this is its now bigger brother. So this is available in a couple of different versions, a head version and a combo version. We're using the head version into a 212 cabinet. This head has got a lot, or in fact the Transatlantic 30 series is very, very well featured, like a lot of Boogie amplifiers, quite a lot of detail regarding how you can switch the preamps and switch the output sections and things like that. So we're going to talk you through it, and then what we're going to try and do is just do some playing of each different setting.
I think the coolest thing really is that it glows blue.
Yeah, that is definitely the first thing you see.
It's like a Decepticon.
It does look like Optimus Prime, doesn't it? It looks very cool. Blue is always good, isn't it? And when you have like in Star Wars, all the blue lightsabers were the good people.
They were the good ones.
Red lightsabers were the bad ones. So this really is a sort of Jedi amplifier.
Of nice attention to detail with the finishing too, because this, to be honest, this kind of motorbikey type metal top finish is badass.
Got a little fan on this side here, which keeping the amplifier cool all the time we're playing it. So the basic spec of this is it's a 2-channel amplifier, all tube as you'd expect, has 4 EL84 power tubes in here with some really cool switching. So I can switch each channel independently. I can have as either a 15-watt Class A mode where it just uses 2 of the EL84s, a 30-watt Class A mode which uses all 4 of the EL84s,
or a 40-watt AB.
AB mode, yeah, which uses Mesa Boogie's patented AB technology to just get a little bit more power and headroom out. And each of those modes has a slightly sort of different characteristic tone.
I guess the main functionality therein would be that you'd have one channel with a gain setting and a lower wattage so it saturates earlier, and then one with a higher wattage so that you get that more headroom.
Or, do you know what, or either way. I mean, I guess that's the beauty with this. If your thing is kind of AC30 clean sound but with Mesa Boogie gain sound, you'd do it the other way around, wouldn't you? So each channel has, well, in fact, the clean channel has 2 basic modes. So that works in either a normal or a top boost mode. So top boost like the old AC30, where it kind of gives a slightly more sort of, well, top boost. And the drive channel, which basically has a tweed mode, which is, just a vintage Fendery gain.
Slightly more sag, isn't it?
Yeah, and then 2 modes of traditional, sort of more modern gain.
Yeah. Stellar clean tones from this amplifier.
Yeah, it's doing good kind of all round. Not, I wouldn't have said it's not a metal amplifier, is it?
No.
It just is a working club
You
amplifier.
could get metal tones from it, but you'd have to use pedals. But really, this is a blues rock kind of country type amp. And for me, the clean tones were some of the best I've heard.
Yeah. Independent reverb on each channel, and in addition to that, not only have you got a different reverb level control on each channel,
you can switch it out of the circuit completely.
Yeah, so a proper true bypass reverb feature. Well, in fact, reverb and effects loop feature, which is cool.
Same with the JCM 800 by Marshall, but they only have that's for the effects loop, but this is taking it a step further, I think. You know.
Indeedy. And I think and a couple other features as well. The clean channel has what's called a cut feature. So there's a lot of nods towards the AC30 on the clean channel, with the sort of the top boost mode, the Class A output, and the cut feature. Now you'll know on an AC30 it has a cut control, so the more it kind of works almost like a reverse tone control. So the more you turn it up, the more it cuts the high frequency, which you can use that, or you can pull the knob out and it reverts to a traditional master volume for the clean sound. Gain channel, again, the gain control has a pull switch which just adds an extra boost in.
I don't know about you, but pull switches just make things even more exciting for me.
It's one of those amplifiers where I think it's one of the, as a guitar player, you're either into kind of, I just want an amp with one knob on it, and I push the in fact, we did a demo of a little orange amplifier just before this. Very simple, 3 knobs on the front, plug it in, go. Wow. This is the opposite end of the spectrum, really, isn't it? This is kind of the guy that really sits there going, I want my clean channel just like this, and my rhythm channel just like this, and my lead channel just like this, and I really want to, you know,
but you really can dial it in with this amplifier. All the knobs do something. They actually make a difference to the tone, which is a nice, you know, difference now.
Like beautifully all made in California as well, typical kind of quality here. Boogie, you know, all hand wired, you know, to a very, very high standard, using the Boogie fixed biasing on the tube section here. So just in case you didn't know this, all Boogie amplifiers are built to what's called a fixed bias. So as long as you replace your tubes with Boogie branded valves, you never need to rebias your amplifier. It's just like changing a light bulb. Yeah.
Wow.
Only if you buy Boogie branded valves, though.
And where are Boogie branded valves made?
Well, they are essentially made in the same place as all the other valves, but Boogie will buy thousands of valves and basically
they tune them themselves.
Yeah, they'll reject or whatever any that fall outside of a certain bias tolerance.
Really?
Yeah.
So they just go through like a whole other quality check.
They've got something called Robo Valve. I know that sounds like I've just made that up, but I haven't. And it's like a machine, basically like a robot-y machine that they plug all the valves in, and it basically
this valve is wrong.
Yeah. Reject the valve.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But how much?
How much?
Cost?
Well, you know, this is Pro Gear, all made in California. So I think the head is going to retail for about $1,700, and the combo version of this, the 112 combo version, for about $1,900.
Yeah.
So it's aimed at the sort of the pro player, the guy that's gigging, you know, quite a bit, and you know wants something good and versatile. And it's going to last him a long time. guys that are in the studio, you know, maybe in a function band or a covers band, you know, need a big range of different tones and just want to take one amplifier with them, you know, this is going to appeal to those guys.
Because you've got the 2 channels, you've got the signable reverbs, you've got all sorts of bits you can play around with, so, you know.
And again, I think, you know, these things, sometimes in these types of live demos, it's quite hard to get across that extra special something that just gives an amplifier a studio quality, isn't there? But I think these have got that, you know, that kind of that vibe.
Well, the fact that 3 of us plugged into it and played and found tones we liked says a lot, bearing in mind we're very different guitar players, and it was easy for us to dial in the tone.
So what we're going to do now is basically just going to have some sound bites essentially. So we're going to set the amp up differently. I'll quickly tell you what we've done before each sound bite, and then you'll just hear some stuff. So clean channel, normal preamp setting, tone controls at 12 o'clock, and the 40 watt class AB output. Okay, still on the clean channel, switched over to the top boost mode now, dropped it down to the Class A 15 watt mode, very AC30 type setting. Nice work, sir.
Thank you very much.
Still in the clean mode now. What I've done though is we're in the top boost mode. I've pulled the cut control out so that I can use it as a master volume. Wound basically the volume up maximum to really drive it, and we're using the 30 watt Class A mode.
We are driving the clean. That's what we're doing here, driving the clean.
Jumped over to the lead channel now, so we're channel 2 in the tweed mode, gain reasonably pushed but without the boost control in, and in the 40 watt AB mode. Channel 2 still, moved up to the second game mode, which is called High 1. Still no boost, but I've dropped the amp now down to the 30 watt Class A mode. bit of dug in there.
Like an angry blue bear.
I'm sure a few of you are probably wondering how this works as a much lower volume, you know, for if you're at home and stuff like that. So this next setting here, we're just using the lead channel, a reasonable amount of gain on the high 1 mode, but with the master volume turned all the way down. So you can get an idea how usable this is in a small, you know, home situation. Sounds all right. It loses some of that oomph, doesn't it?
You missed the growly, bottomy part, but you still get the nice top
smooth
end.
sound.
Yeah.
Cool.
So now we've got full on all the gain, balls to the wall.
We've got the whole lot. We've got the high 2 gain mode. We've got the gain turned all the way out. We've got the boost pulled out. We're in the Class AB 40 watt mode. Take it away, Robert Sutherland Chapman. If anybody's worried that they might not have an amp loud enough to gig with here, don't worry. It's definitely loud enough to gig with. There's a thing I sometimes think with Boogie amplifiers, when you're just demoing them, and particularly I find this a lot in Andertons, obviously when we're demoing stuff in rooms and stuff, Boogie amplifiers have a tendency to sound just a little bit honky in that sort of mid-range, and I'm not convinced it's necessarily a sound that you would naturally go, oh, amazing sound. But it's when you gig with them, it's that honk that they kind of dial in is the stuff that makes you cut through the mix.
Yeah.
That's why when you listen to guys like Carlos Santana and stuff like that, it's just every note is singing, clarity through the mix, the whole thing. It's a very sort of Boogie characteristic thing that I sometimes think people probably don't appreciate when they're just hearing the amp, not in a mix.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a very specific place for a guitar sound to be.
Yeah.
If you look at the spectrum of sound from bass to vocals and keys and drums and everything. So.
But there we go.
I think that sounds really, really good.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy to accept one.
No problem. 1,700 of your, what is it?
Imperial Republic credits.
With credits of it, or pounds. And 1,900 if you want the combo. But if you want to know more, visit the www.Andertones and check it out. So, I've been the captain.
I've been Chappers.
And
This
we'll
has
see
been
you
Mesa Boogie. Bye!
Oh, shot! We just did the Transatlantic 30 head video, and I mentioned in there was a combo. Here it is. We're not going to plug this in because it's basically got exactly the same knobs and buttons on it, but just thought you might like to see how it lights up all pretty and blue. All the knobs along here just looks cool.